and Kerala became a very different state than the rest of the country. But still, you had this man out there planting his trees. Chapter 2. It takes not a village to raise a child. It takes a child to raise a village. Because everybody thought Viswanathan was a nut, he decided to work with the children. And under that one cashew tree, he would give lessons in music and art and languages and whatnot. And then he noticed the kids would be coming in and that there was extreme severity of the relationship, that they hated school, that there were 80 kids in a classroom, that they were beaten with corporal punishment, that their parents would beat them, that there was this incredible violence going on in the household. And so Viswanathan offered to create the first preschool, a Montessori preschool, to take the children from the parents during the day, and then an after-school program to work on their homework, but at the same time have them beginning to work in gardening in the forestry program. And it was like a wolf in sheep's clothing. He wanted to get to the parents through the children. And there they began to talk about integrated agriculture. Begins with what we eat. And so he would start serving the kids from the garden leafy vegetables. And where do we get our vitamin A? And where do we get our vitamin D? And these chickens now make eggs, and we don't sell the eggs, but we eat them. And where are we going to get our vitamin C's? And why are women who are pregnant not eating papaya? Because of certain ancient regions. And suddenly we looked at the diet, and the kids would go home and say, I'm not eating unless I have green vegetables, and vitamin A, and vitamin D, and vitamin B. And then he began with a healthcare plan. And one of the worst problems, of course, was worms. And that's why you still have this terrific infant mortality of worms and whatnot, of the sewage system. And the government, of course, and all government programs came and dumped these slabs to make latrines. And nobody used them. They used the slab for the latrine to wash their clothes instead. And so with the children, they were called kakus in Malayalam. And he became the kaku man. And everybody had to use the latrine. And then they had volunteer parties to go to each house because the kid would tell his mom and dad, I refuse to pee or poop unless I have a proper latrine. So it doesn't go into our drinking water. It doesn't go into our garden we're beginning to plant. And volunteer parties began to build latrines and then start building other waterworks areas and water management. And the children just went step by step with every policy until the school went from the first Montessori preschool. And did you all know that Montessori, of course, had to flee to India during World War II? Montessori lived in India for 6 years. And her ideas went throughout India. There are more Montessori preschools in India than all of Europe at one point. It went on from a preschool to a kindergarten, a first grade, to today you have a university or a college. But very important ideas. Number one, I'm sorry having to use my notes here. I'm the son of a preacher, if you haven't figured it out by now. And you're not supposed to use the notes, you know. The gospel is just supposed to flow out of you, sort of like a channel from Gandhi. Dear Gandhi. Number one aspect of these schools. Think about this. This is the 1950s in India, with the lowest of the lowest caste. On the borderlands of the tribal, the Adivasi people, who started coming in. And the only people that would deal with them would be Viswanathan. Is that the first principle is the schools had to be open air, that you cannot teach within 4 walls. Beautiful schools, outdoors. The second principle is you had to incorporate ecology into the curriculum. That our science and math and literature and language had to go through the ecology of planting in the garden and training in the area. Number 3 was that all children had to work, not for the drudgery of labor at your charka, spinning out your little khadi that you could wear it, but to learn to be self-sufficient